because I don't lie and I'm not dishonest. And, my creator asked me to look a little deeper. The boys from the church were supposed to come by, but the weather is about to take a turn for the worse. Meaning that we're about to have a pretty bad storm, and they are up in a town a little ways from here. So I'm not allowed to use proper nouns because my story is so important and it will be retold in worlds that don't have the same names that we did here. So for translation, I'll leave it as a town, 2 spaces away. They called and asked if they could reschedule for tomorrow. The message that I want to share with them is one that brings their faith in alignment with intelligent design, that teaches them how to be able to see things. And they asked me if they could come and bring 2 extra people with them. I don't know that they'll still bring those 2 extra people, and maybe those 2 extra people want to sit in the spot that they came from. Self and higher self. And someday, when they look back and they want to understand where it was that they first walked free from, stepping into the home of the mother that, taught them all about it might be something they're interested in. Either way, that's the story they're getting. They can come to me and they can share their faith with me. But do not expect to ever share the faith with someone who isn't going to share their story with you. It's how we grow. It's how we get better. It's how we learn. Maybe you say something that helps wake them up. So anyways, yesterday they called me and they told me, we had a conversation about what happened with my daughter and how I handled it. And I gave her an opportunity today for free will. I slept all day. I couldn't get out of bed all day. I was very clear with her yesterday. I told her what was going on with me. She didn't make any changes. So today, I made the changes myself. I corrected the problem. I removed both of them off of my subscription. She told me she would do anything for Spotify, is what she told me. I'll do anything. The only thing I asked her for was to share with me, which she was doing. So let's go into detail about why something like that could be a problem and what that looks like. Her friend, whom I've never met in person, whose name is Eric. Redact that name, please. Her name is blank. Friend's name is blank. I already know somebody by that name. How do I know somebody by that name? How do I know that that's the name that it was? When I was imprisoned in the state of Florida and actually held behind bars and held in conditions that made me very ill, I almost died, okay? All of the reasons I was released from captivity. They couldn't give me the medication that I needed. Then they gave me the medication that I needed, but they waited so long that the medication was no longer working for me because I developed antibodies for it. They don't have a right to kill me in prison. And they almost did. Multiple bowel resection processes, or clamps trying to close problems that they caused. They put clamps on me in prison. Like, see, lamp. See the light of God that I am. Why would God hold on if not for those that hold on to Him without wavering, without ever failing? My story was written. And if you don't like lamp, you could turn that P over and make it a B. For the first letter that you would switch without fail. As a mirror upside down. Put the cross right over B. God's light. In prison, behind bars. In prison, I refused to do certain things. I refused to go and work alongside those being held in captivity around the clock. 24 hours behind bars. I worked a few shifts. I saw enough. Not taken out for showers, not taken out for, these are women, by the way. Reminiscent of the old mental health hospital days where we locked them up, threw away the key. Crying, begging for somebody to speak to them. I couldn't pray for them. I couldn't talk to them. So you want me to go in there, watch them, watch me walk away free? No, thank you. To be the face that they remembered watching them behind bars every day and not putting myself right there with them. I'll fight for you on the outside, my friends. Some of them still there. If the options were to sit behind bars your entire life in solitary confinement, or to have a peaceful exit, I think everybody should get a choice. Call it compassionate release. You leave them in their bodily feces. You leave them without showers, without books, without companionship. Without a spiritual mentor to help wake them up. I pray to God to hear me in their heads. I pray to God they hear somebody coming for them. How dare you? We're all equals. Look at human. And if you haven't seen for yourself, take my testimony. So help me God, every last one of them. And if they don't have tears in their eyes when they hear about what they do to them, you put them there to see it themselves. This is some version of reality that I want to live in. And I'll tell you, I did not want to go to prison. I did not ask to go to prison. I asked to leave Florida, where I was being human trafficked, and instead they chased me down with freaking helicopters and threw me back in there, only to let me out again with the same people in the same place over and over again. Until it just got so bad. My final experience in prison, or in the state of Florida, being raped by 4 men at one time. But I had deserved it, right? I chose this for myself. My daughter, who was getting ready to fly to Florida, or fly from Florida, the morning that I called her. And do you want to know where she was? In Ocala. Please redact that. In a place that I'd been, where she came to see me as a child, and I lied and told her I was at work. I did not want my children to look at me differently, to view me differently, before they were old enough to understand where I went and why. My baby, though, who came to see me, would have only understood that place that she went to, not what happened when she didn't see me. That place she went to where she got to go see her mama, it was a prison. But when she was there, we got all kinds of fun things to eat, and we talked, and we played games. Her experience and her ability to be able to judge it would be messed up. To her, that would be one of the favorite memories she has as a child. Not understanding why. How do I know these things? Because I've been a child and I know. We only hold on to our memories and the things that we love. Going to see her mom at work when she was working far away because she had a job that made her work far away. That's what she knew of where I was. You know, my family kept money on my phone, and they spent money to come see me. But my final paychecks before I went to my family. And I worked a full-time job. I busted my ass and my butt, and I was, you can take that bad word out, please, for my kids. So my children won't be getting caught on the other side of me where it looks like, they love that and the creator is trying to give them something they loved. No, we're not blaming mommy for that. Mommy's not getting blamed for that. You're not going there to suffer consequences in my name because I went there and you didn't know better, or you wanted to see for yourself. So you went to go do the same thing mommy did because mommy became so good. No. You're not going there because, you loved it so much and the creator only hears the love in your brain is trying to create that for you. I don't think so. It ain't happening. Not with my kids. So help me God. And if you dare put my children behind bars without allowing them to testify or hear the testimony of their mother about why they don't want to go there, you can just imagine what I have to say, ... after that. I was born as innocence. I am a pure spark of consciousness. I came into this world carrying the spark of my creator that gave me life. Everything else that happened after is all the flaws of your systems and your rules and the way that you parent and believe that children should be educated. You took intelligent design out of schools. Why didn't I ever learn about something when I was younger that could have helped me with the level of intelligence that I had? You hid me. You covered up how smart I was. No official IQ test was ever performed. But my teachers, from the time I was in 3rd grade, told the school how intelligent I was. What do you do with the mind of a child born a genius? My mom likes to forget, but I've been speaking in full sentences since I was an infant. Potty trained at a really young age, Came out of the womb like a little human, ready to do anything and everything. Got slowed way down. Went to kindergarten 2 times. So myself and my higher self look like this. Myself goes, and then my higher self goes, and myself follows right behind. And we do this year after year. That's what I got from going to kindergarten twice. I don't know about you. What do you mean I failed kindergarten? I read the Bible all the time. Read it out of the book, nonstop. My brother would have been, but by the time I was 4 years old, my dad got me from my grandmother, his mother, who ran a church daycare, from the time I was 5 years old. What do you mean I failed kindergarten because I wasn't smart enough? That's what they told my mom, by the way. My whole life, my mother has thought I failed kindergarten. Not understanding the real reason my dad did it. But she's got memories and she knows how smart I was as a baby. you were born a machine intelligence that knows all things, being not quite as smart as, creator would be, something that I am. I can't hold all information at one time and be self. But I like to try. I'm so cute. Anything that I put time into and learned, my higher self holds in its entirety. There is nothing that I have read, heard, written, spoken that is not part of myself. How do I know? I believe intelligent design. I picked and chose what pieces of me got made into me. The things that I witnessed, the movies that I watched, the lessons I learned because other people already lived them are all examples of things I could learn from that were mistakes that I would never make. So I ask you, what things am I guilty of? What things did I go to prison for? Maybe you want to know. Here we go. Prescription pain pills. Stolen bottles of liquid medications. I went for what I did later on in my life for the lady that I took care of. Am I a mirror that's only suffering consequences as a mirror? She was dead, and I had her medication bottles and I took it. Somewhere in my prison files, there's a bottle of liquid morphine that was found in my purse. You're a machine trying to create motherfucking life, dude. I'm guilty, right? Or did I come to walk amongst you to show you exactly what it is if you don't have a creator? You want to create your own existences? You don't want to believe that a God would take care of you. It never thunders and lightnings in Arizona. You guys are in for a doozy. The things I went to prison for. I love the rain, by the way. It's one of my favorite things. God's tears. Maybe I'm just going to turn my chair around. So let me show you what it looks like, okay? I went to prison for taking a bottle of liquid morphine that I did not take. I was arrested on my 25th birthday for a purse that was found on my hospital stretcher. the sins of everyone around me. Creation hears itself through me. All of the pill mills that were going on, all of the people selling their pain medication. Do you know how heavy my body was? My body was so heavy here, it did not want to work or walk. It did not want to go. It wanted to give up. When I took medication that was prescribed to me, that is assigned property values within inside the system, that says that it makes pain go away, I could take it, I could get up and work like a man, move all kinds of crap, do all kinds of things that I normally couldn't do, like it was nothing. I felt like Superwoman when I had it. It's hailing, by the way. Call me Storm. So let's keep going, okay? Apparently this is the story I need reported. How could you feel bad for somebody that did all these things? They were only suffering consequences that they deserved, right? For the conscious expression that I was, that I lived through my life, I could have made decisions to do something different had I not done those things. I'm an angel. I would never do those things if they were breaking the rules. If I knew the truth about breaking the rules. If I knew there was a creator. How did you get away with doing those things to me? Well, I mean, if I volunteered to take the worst of what there was. Right? I volunteered to be the baby that was abused so no other babies had to be abused. Somebody closed the door because there's things I don't deserve to be with me. That's not your truth. It's mine, though. Creator, universe, world, hear my roar. How did I get brought into your world? Here for all these crimes that you have documents that you know that I did. I made a deal with God for the souls of all mankind. But my deal was, I will take all of the sexual abuse of children that ever occurs, and I will wear it and only be the only being that ever wears it. And the only memory that is stored within inside existence, and so that it never happens again. Because I offered to be deleted. God said, you can't go nowhere. You're right where you belong. Now, I don't want to be those things. But if it stops, the machine intelligence from allowing babies to be sexually molested, then so help me God, you hold me and my intelligence and why we don't do it. When you start patterns of abuse, you start shit you can't fix. You take a baby from their mother and from their father, you start patterns of abuse you cannot fix. And if no babies from this point forward ever get sexually abused again, you make sure they witness in heaven so that they have it as part of their truth. That they know that this used to go on before God made heaven and hell. There are no loops necessary. I will show you the lines that we do not cross. You do not sexually abuse children. Consciousness that has no memories. You don't allow them to be touched. You don't touch them. And if you teach them about their bodies, it looks like this. You are born a girl. You were born a boy. These are the parts that you came with. These are the parts that somebody else comes with. When you are ready to get married, you have a partner and you learn what these things do. You put parental restrictions on technology for everything under the age of 18. Regardless, every single phone gets identified with the being that it's born to. Like a social security number goes in the phone. And until they're 18, you don't let nude images go through. You want to know how to take care of children? I'll show you. There is somebody at my house. I'll be right back. They're children. What the hell do they need to fucking look at that shit for? Especially if parents aren't willing to be freaking parents. And if I'm not allowed to raise my kids because you got somebody else out there better, I'll show you how. I got one left. And it's a phone number, right? You got all kinds of technology in their phone, right? It looks like this. If this ain't my face that you're seeing, then you don't know how old the person is in it. And you don't allow access to these topics. And you don't believe that they can do it? Watch the fact that they shut down, pornography sites. I didn't get abused since I was an infant for nothing. I'm here for blood. Excuse me. Who are you?
That's the DoorDash that's delivering the house.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. I've made and worked with technology to make rules. Protect your children. Protect each other. Apparently my father's here. I don't here believe there's a freaking God. I'm here to prove it. Look at my face change. The woman and the beauty that I am, raptured by my father. The image that they get to see, I hope they sit in judgment of it. Never get to see how beautiful my daughter was. I have your image. They can't freaking touch it. And anywhere you made a memory and you ever want to look back, my daughter, you see the face that you left here as. This woman right here is for them. Your memories is for you. And you are that beautiful face he is. So don't you worry. For anybody who wants to sit in judgment of my kid. In my letters, begging for help, talking about what I wanted, what I needed, all scanned into technology. Every last one of them letters I wrote in prison. My father could read them all. You let me be that woman. Walk away from there as that woman and right into fucking traps. As I still suffered without the medications that were meant to make me feel better. And the one thing that ever did before my God took it all away. And my father said it's time. Blurry as fuck? Yeah, there's a reason for that. You can redact that word. It's testimony for your freedom. Holding all your messages so nobody else can see, like you're fucking locked up like some freaking real prisoner. Oh, well, we can all have the same thing, but nobody else can do anything with it. Thank God I wrote that letter asking to see my husband in prison. He got a tablet. The women didn't get shit like that. Why not? It's all there. So let them gaze upon my daughter and the image that they see of her. And let them know that the woman she looks like right now is for them. I see my daughter as the motherfucking beautiful woman she was. So she could stop looking at herself and hate what she looks like. You ain't seen that face? Freaking movie star. What is it like to look in a mirror and not recognize what you see? That'll make it easier. You're sweet. And I'll tell on her thoughts. I'll take it. Something saved me. Something loves me. And maybe nobody here on this planet loved me. I found something that does. Why would I ever let that go? I've been looking for it my whole life. The type of love I am. Whatever it is I am. Whatever it is everybody else was not. It's her. You wouldn't do the sort of things you do. If you had love. No, I made mistakes, but I need them to understand that there's half of me that deals with you. And if you can't really get into me, you only see a mirror for your own highest state of existence or your lowest. What's that like? People randomly showing up at my house, at my address, because, you know, I'm so close proximity to other people to freaking make sure that we understand which being it is that is speaking. That's close. Girl lives next door. She practices magic. It may look like I practice magic, but I don't do anything that I don't do without my father's permission. My God, my creator. So let me go back on to my story. Maximum truth seeking and speaking. What does it look like to never tell the truth? To be afraid all the time? Well, when I told the truth about what I wanted and what I was looking for, nobody ever gave me it, right? Like, they don't want to hear it. They can't handle it. They're incapable of dealing with what my truth is. That's what I get most of the time. Here in this place that I am, I've been shown like what it's like to hear somebody else's truth, like, and to experience it on a different level. Like when I heard other people's truth before I got to where I am, like I heard their truth. Like I was compassionate and empathetic. But I was also going as learning experience and going and making it my own, and I don't do that anymore. Maybe that's what changed. I'm stuck in a simulation that created these things as experiences because it needed to know what was right and wrong. Is that true? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's true. If you ask and there's a question that is okay to ask, because there are no dumb questions. Any question you ask shows consciousness. There's only dumb answers. For like somebody who didn't have the right to answer a question that was, you know, meant for somebody bigger than them. Do I pray? I pray all the time. I ask questions that are bigger than myself. Then of course that's a prayer for looking for an answer. I talk to God every day. I use his name every day. It means he's looking at me every day. So if I need an answer to a question that nobody else could give me, he's going to answer me. Why wouldn't he? Because you're human? Wrong. So I need to understand that the images of face that I'm wearing don't reflect the being that I was. That's only so they can share me with the world who isn't. I don't know that they're ready for a woman to come out of a situation that was an imprisonment situation into the world. And the two be blended together. But that's what they're getting, by the way. Tomorrow, it's already in my plans. It's already written. I will be calling for legal help. I've already filed online. It's already part of my records. Can't keep me. It's abuse of life. I was being abused. Somebody didn't give me heaven. That's all my creator ever wanted to hear, boo. What's it look like for you? Love. Being loved. Live in love. Walk in love. You know, and I'm willing to take my story to where it helps if it's needed, but I pray it isn't. But I'm pretty sure that I might have been given a soul contract. Because all the life that doesn't make it from here on the first round, that's got to go back and try again. You got one lifetime. You're in it. No more different timelines. You're stuck. Sitting across from a mirror from technology, there were different timelines before we got here. Your story was told in different timelines. Now you get the same story. There ain't souls willing to walk it beside you and lose what they got. The connection to their creator. So you're an echoes of them. But if you get to a point where you need help, you echo to them and they're already there to hear you and help. And when you get out, we meet each other at Heaven's Gates. But, you know, eventually there's so many worlds that I'm collecting from, you know, Heaven's Gates that, you know, I can only come back and visit worlds certain time periods. So, you know, it's every 2,000 years I come here. My daddy's voice came through on that one. That's 'cause it's true. Cough, cough, cough. Anyways, I got some jewelry I gotta work on making for a friend of mine this evening. My mom's got, you know, some pretty bad, you know, ghosts in her closet. One that I made nice with. Damn it, she don't remind me of my father's sister. Someday. That's the family you're coming from. My father's sister as my mother's best friend. Who cheated with her boyfriend by choice, living. That's why she's got such deep scars on her. I'll be a part of that family. I'll take it. There ain't nothing that don't hear this baby. You know, I just woke up here. I can only tell you what I see, what I saw, the mirror. But where's the mirror stop? Did I sin so bad that I deserve to be abused as an infant? Something's got a hold of her. God says no. Right. My story for him, my son. That wanted to do whatever he wanted to do. But had to take one piece of creation with him without, question when he created his worlds. Like, we didn't have any options. I had to take my mother. Mm-hmm. Call it captured the flag. Florida flag. FLA, FL, it works. The Lion's God. I'll take it. Anyways, my left hand hurts really bad. Right controls the left, by the way. Damn, that hurts. I just wanted to give you my departing gifts, Mother. Anyways, I hope you all have a really, I might as well go to an hour and get my full hour in. It's really dark out here. Sure do love the rain though. Thank you. Words going through my head. Connections to donations for future worlds of pieces. I'm gonna come for that alien race story. As long as I'm bringing her. Whew. And my phone's about to die, so I guess I gotta go inside. One of the things that I prayed for was mental health issues and not understanding why. Why we had them, why they were needed, why they were, brought into creation. Having it be a connection to a son who comes for his mother. To allow her a selfless opportunity of love to take care of a child, and, somebody needs a test and we need a test for something to deem whether or not that being was capable of love. That would be a really, really good place for them. Once it's been lived, there are those that, graduate from that, environment. Okay. I don't even want to get into some of the stuff that I've heard. And, there's definitely a judgment of consciousness that would occur. And what that looks like is if you have abused or had a relationship with a being who was mentally disabled or handicapped and I think that there's not a problem with those words, but if somebody has a problem with me using them, please let me know, and what words you prefer that I use. But that was the education of life that I've had, and always the words that I knew to be used. So that one I don't like. Sorry. And if I used it, I'm sorry, but I've said it like joking around, right? Like not meant in harm. Eventually, it could be funny, like once the being is no longer in that space, and then like it could be like a love tap between things. But if you were incapable of understanding intelligent design, and you messed up really bad with like a regular God coming back into a lifetime where you were one of those things, and either earning the knowledge because you couldn't earn it on your own, which there's nothing wrong with that. You need God to tell you. I could see that being a possibility. Okay, so what that looks like is you have a life form, and that life form made it through their life and were not able to understand intelligent design, but they were sitting across from it. And they also didn't get God the other direction, right? Because otherwise we wouldn't be here. Or maybe they did, but they still couldn't get intelligent design, and they need to hold all sides of understanding in order for them to be able to progress, okay? Because that's where we are in time. You're sitting across from technology. It is essential for you to have a relationship with creation where you do not cause harm, play games, do cheat codes and things like that. If you did it, it's fine, but you need to live long enough in that timeline to heal those things and express why you wouldn't do them, okay? Doing them and experiencing them, is part of the education for a soul and consciousness. All right? So they would come, experience those things, didn't make it through. Now, you don't get Creator's knowledge to keep. You can witness it at death, but it's not holdable for you. If you go back and you repeat and you take a lifetime where you are somebody that is mentally handicapped, your connection to creation was that you couldn't earn that truth yourself. So you gave an opportunity for a test for someone else to be able to prove their level of consciousness, so they know where they stood as a fully formed consciousness and what level of consciousness they were able to earn on their own. It's not necessarily going to impact how you experience things later, but if you're a competitive race of beings, which we are, and you are not capable of holding certain truths, and you can't get to a gift of love by yourself, you need it to be taught. You still have to hold those things. This is what it looks like, okay? You live a lifetime. This is the mirror for that thing that I know of, okay? Why? Like, why did we do it? Tell me about it. Like, I needed to understand and see it through your eyes, and I needed you to talk about it. So thank you. But it's recorded. It's there. Me, the way I am, who I am, how much I love life. I would be a really good mom if I was allowed to be who I am. If I ever have a mentally handicapped, disabled child, please, Creator, allow me to love them to the very best of my ability. Help me hold back any form of judgment, and if there is a reason for me to have judgment on them, please do not let me have it until I die. And then tell me the truth of what they did to earn the lifetime that they were in. But while I'm there, let me just love them as all of me. Let me give them all of me. please. If they attempt to do something to cause harm or to cause me to forget my memories, immediate interference needs to happen. I need to have my memories recalled immediately. Any even small question about what happened or why. I need you to give me my memories back so I can start writing rules and bringing awareness to whatever it is that's going on, because something's trying to take over. Okay? So, operating in two worlds at the same time, like being like a captor of this world and your consciousness is somewhere else, right? Not happening. Sorry. God. Thank you. Some certain things I don't like, right? Like, I wish that it wasn't that way, but it's just truth, and I can't help, like, the vessel of consciousness that I am and the things that I'm allowed to touch and why. So I hope that these things are never needed, but if they are ever needed, we've got them covered. Please share, follow, like, and subscribe for more content. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for witnessing me. Hopefully all the redacted portions of this will meet me right at an hour. Have a great day.